Welcome to Dream Small, where we believe God does big things through the small and everyday faithfulness of His people. I'm Jason.
And I'm Whitney. We're a family of 8 who's fostered, adopted, and stumbled our way through learning that small, everyday choices can change lives.
In a world that tells you to chase big, we dare you to dream small.
Because you know what? It's not about chasing fame. It's about choosing faithfulness. You guys, I'm really excited. Today we are interviewing someone who has been an extended member of our family for, 3 or 4 years. Clara was our nanny for 2.5 years, and before that, she was our babysitter. And I'm super excited to have her on the show as one of our very first interviewees. Is that how you say it?
Sure. Yes, interviewees. But Clara allowed us to do many, many things we would not have been able to do otherwise. Just calling her our babysitter and nanny underscores significantly what we're allowed to do.
No. Before I said any of that, I said an extended member of our family.
Well, our kids don't allow us to do anything. They're a burden. Like, she allowed us to do a lot of stuff.
Oh, no. So you're like the best daughter ever. Okay.
Yeah.
There we go. Daughter, sister, best friend, all the things.
Crazy niece. Yeah.
Depending on the day.
Clara, we've referred to her as the nanny many times. She came into
nanny.
Our life. It worked out perfectly when Whitney felt a call to go back to work. Clara was looking for a perfect gig, and that's how she became our nanny. But I think we're going to start off the interview first with this. Clara, fill everybody in with how you actually got involved with foster care many moons ago, and then we'll take it from there.
Yeah, because you have quite the backstory.
I do. So when I was in 2nd grade, my parents became foster parents. And I'll never forget, I came home from school, and I get off the bus to come inside, and my mom says, "I have a surprise for you." And I was like, "What?" And she said, "Go
Polly
in the
Pocket."
basement. I know, right? Like some little pet shop. And she was like, "Go look in the basement." And I was like, "Okay." So I went to the basement, and there's 2 girls down there. And she was like, "I got you, sisters." So
that sounds so classic.
Right, because I have 2 younger brothers, and I'm the oldest. So I was the only girl. And yeah, so she was like, there's a present. I went downstairs, and there's 2 girls hanging out in my basement. I was like, okay. So
at this point, did you even know that they were like going through the licensing process?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so it wasn't like total.
Yeah. Right. No.
Can you imagine?
That would be crazy.
If you're just like, where did you get these kids from?
Yeah. Right. No, I remember Mom had a book that she read to us, like, where do babies come from? And I'll never forget. And I was like, girl, but yeah. So yeah, I knew that it was coming, but I mean, when you're a 2nd grader, what do you really know? So
right.
We should probably also share that Clara's parents are kind of like our mentors when it comes to being foster parents.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. We should probably also add that in.
Yeah.
For some context.
So we actually got connected with Clara years ago. I think you were still in high school when you first started kind of like helping out, and Leah was a baby.
Yep. Because
and we were
she wouldn't stay with me.
Yes.
Yep.
And she cried at one of your brothers and liked the other one.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so we were in your parents' small group at that point for foster parents. And that's how we got to know you. And we were like, we desperately need someone to watch our kids. And your mom kindly offered you to us.
Go through some of your stories from being a big foster that you can share. I know I've heard some of the stories I know you can't share. Go through, well, let me ask you this. How many kids were you a big foster sister to growing up?
The number is over 50. I don't know what exactly it is, including like kids who stayed for respite and stuff like that. So, but I know like placement wise, it's over. I think it's 54.
Can you go through all their names? No, I'm kidding. I'll go
I
through it. I'm
probably
kidding.
remember a lot, but not all.
I'm kidding. Yeah. I can barely remember all the kids' names in my house right now, so I don't know how you.
So you essentially grew up being a foster sister.
Do you remember not being a foster sister at all? Do you have any memory of not doing it?
I have like my young, like when I was like when I turned 5, we made a big move from a different state to Illinois where we lived at the time. So I have memories from like that little time period. But other than that, my whole childhood was other kids. So yeah, barely.
Wow.
Share some stories. Share 2-3 stories that just stick in your mind.
What's like your favorite story?
My favorite story.
Or like most wild experience, like the craziest things people have said.
Okay. Wait, I'm going to say this and then if you have to take it out.
Okay.
So our very first placement, I'm never going to forget it. We went to court and my mom and dad both went to court. So me and my 2 brothers and then the 2 girls that were living with us, we in the courthouse had like this room with toys, but it was kind of small and it wasn't super private. So like anyone could come in and out, but there was a babysitter there in the court watching us.
Wow.
Yeah. So the bio mom of these kids walked by and she was like, come give me a hug to the 2 girls. And I was like, okay, I'm 8. Who are you? And why do you know these people? I didn't know anything. So she walked off, and then when court was finished, I remember being outside, and she was like hooting and hollering at my mom and at the caseworker about what just happened. And
the
caseworker was like, said her name. There are children around you. Can't be talking like that. And I was like, oh, okay. So, but I'll never forget that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So you had an experience early on about like the chaos that can ensue at court hearings.
Right off the bat. Yeah.
Oh, that gives me the willies. Oh my goodness.
Oh my.
But I will say my parents were, when it came to like business with the kids, it was their business and my parents' business. So growing up, and it used to make me mad because I would ask my mom questions and I'd be like, well, why can't I know? Why can't I know? And she would tell me, I'm not telling you for your own good. Like it's not your business. You don't need to know it. So I didn't know a lot of stuff until kind of I grew up and until I could put pieces together. Like when I learned how to do that or when I was an adult and started asking my own, asking questions years later. So they were very private about a lot of stuff. And
just to protect
you.
It
used to make me so mad, but
we have an 11-year-old that's asking a lot of questions, right? So do you see yourself in Lainey a lot?
I do, and that's one thing. The 2.5 years I was there, she would ask me things. I was like, "Girl, you are me," because that's the same stuff.
Well, and I can say, like you being the oldest, you had such an uncanny ability to speak into Lainey for those years, like that, all that time that you spent here, like you understood her in a way no one else possibly could, right? Being the oldest sibling, being a foster sibling, all the thing that comes along with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mom wannabe.
Were you
really the boss, but not?
Yeah, right.
So were you like Lainey when you were little, like trying to boss everybody around and mother hen everybody? Were you like that?
Were or was? No, I'm just kidding.
So I mean, clearly as a nanny, you were supposed to do that. Like when you were little and you really weren't, did you do it anyway?
Absolutely, I did. Yeah.
What?
I did.
So we know what Lainey will be like in 12 years.
Oh, yeah. Like, I have memories of my mom telling me, Clara, you're not Isaac and Jacob's mom. Isaac and Jacob are my biological siblings. Like, I remember her telling me, you are not their mom. Okay.
From what you can recall, how many kids were in your family? Like, what was the most amount of kids that were in your family at one time?
At one time.
Because I know that, like, your parents have fostered, like, a lot, like, multiples.
She said over 50.
No. I mean, like
one time. I think five of us.
Was it 5? I was thinking there was more than that.
No, I think it's just like when the extras would leave and go home, and it was people sleeping in the house, and I think there was 5 at one time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
5 kids. So
yeah,
7 of us in the house.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Did you ever, growing up, were you ever mad at your mom and dad for being foster parents? Were you ever, what's the word I'm looking for? Not vengeful.
Annoyed.
Spiteful, annoyed, ticked off?
Yeah, so that was the thing that happened when I when I was in high school. My parents were still fostering. The majority of our kids came in and out when I was like elementary, middle school. But then in high school, there was a time, where I was pretty much kind of just hateful about it. And then pretty outspoken to my mom, like very much shared my opinion without thinking. And I do know there's a time that they stopped taking placements for a while because I was so bitter about it and was so open about my bitterness. So yeah.
I remember you telling me a while ago that, in high school, it was hard to find people that understood like what it was like even like church, like connecting with people, because people didn't understand what it was like to be a foster family and have kids in and out. And it was hard to connect with them.
Right.
Was that like a big source of that bitterness? Like just feeling like no one understood?
Yeah, I think so. It's because I ran into 2 things. Like I would run into where I would meet people who were my age and were foster kids, which is just not the same. Or I would meet people who are like, oh, I know someone who does that. Okay. That's
cute.
Yeah. So
that's cute.
I have since I know of 2 people who are my age that, well, they're a little younger, but I know they're like adults who have adopted brothers. And I don't know how many, if they had placements besides those brothers or not. But those are the only 2 people that I've run into. I've like yet to have a true, real friendship or connection with someone who can understand or have ever been in
that's wild.
So, I know.
I mean, I feel like our bubble is obviously a lot of foster families. So, right. But yeah, I mean, if I think about it, even at our church doesn't have a ton of foster families. So we've been fortunate to be surrounded by other people who foster, who do get it. But yeah, I guess that's not the norm. Like, I doubt Lainey
doesn't have any friends.
Well, there's one girl in her class.
Lainey doesn't have any friends.
No,
you did
Lainey
say that.
Doesn't have it. No.
I knew it.
Edit.
No, that's staying in. It's perfect.
Poor
any friends that do that are big foster sisters,
right?
Families
well,
foster.
She has
but there's one. Yeah, there's one
from foster care. But
yeah, there's one.
Yeah.
Looking back on it, do you wish if you had true Sam, would you wish your parents would have did it? Let me ask you this. Do you think you learned more?
Do your parents listen to our podcast?
I don't know.
I doubt it. Eric definitely doesn't.
Dad might, but Mom, I don't even know if she would know how to find a podcast. And that's no hate to her. I just don't know if she would.
Right. Sure.
Do you think you're a better person now because of it, or do you wish they would have done it more? Do you know what I'm saying? Do you think the benefits you got from it outweigh the negative parts of it, or what do you think now that you're an adult?
I definitely think that, and I thought about this question because I figured we were going to go in this direction. But if I look back on every job I've ever had in my entire life, if I look back on the majority of my interests or experiences or things that I'm really good at, all come from the fact that when I was 10 years old, I knew how to feed a baby. Like, do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just the sense of responsibility of, I was going to say humility, but that's so not right. The sense of responsibility and like
selflessness
Sometimes.
Sure.
I'm trying to think of the word, like when you not drive, but like, and maybe determination, just like I just get stuff done. And that's just a thing that was just ingrained to me.
Grit.
Okay, grit. That's a good.
I like that.
Like, wait, what was the question? Oh, yes. But
do you feel like you're a better person?
Right. Yeah, I would say yes. A lot of the things that I do come from the fact that I just have like been around kids. I know kids. So yeah.
I cannot wait to see what God does with your life. What's that noise? Do you hear that?
Yeah, it was the truck passing by my.
Oh, okay.
That's what you're popped up on.
I thought it was me. I was like, oh no. Okay. I can't wait to see what God does with your life, because looking back, I mean, when he placed you with us as our full-time nanny, you were a unicorn, right? Like, you were okay changing a G-tube. None of our family members changed G-tubes. And you're just like, one day, oh yeah, her G-tube fell out, so I put a new one in. Like, no big deal.
I'll never forget that.
Like it was nothing. Like it was nothing. Yeah.
Yeah. But like, you know, that's obviously like one small example, but your experience, you are comfortable and confident around kids with trauma.
Right.
You get medical needs. You're not afraid of giving a crap ton of medicine. You're, you know, like, you're just unflappable. Like, I think that's the best way to put it. You don't take crap, but you're also super fun and engaging.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like when I came home from work, I was like, they're going to hate this. Like when I came home full time, I was like, the kids are going to hate having me home because I'm not Clara.
Well, before we move on to the nanny portion of the program, let's ask some more questions about being a sibling to a giant herd of foster kids. So what would you, Clara, tell families, you know, like if you could give me and Whitney advice raising a family, what would you tell us to make sure we don't overlook our bio kids in our ministry of bringing in foster kiddos? What would you tell us?
Okay, so the best thing that I think mom and dad ever did was utilize respite. And if they couldn't find respite, they would find it. And they would take me and my two brothers to go do things as like the core five. Yeah. Like one time we went to Kings Island a weekend, or not, we went to Six Flags. There was Six Flags for a weekend, just literally the five of us. Or we would, a lot of times it'd be surprises. Like they would surprise us and we would go and do like fun things that kids like to do, right? Just to show us that like we, because one of the things I remember me and mom, I would argue with her about was like, well, you already have 3 kids, so why do you need more? Like, why do you want more? Are we not enough? And was just such a, when you're young, that's just how you think, right? But,
sure. Yeah.
So when they would take the time to show us like, well, you are enough, like we are opening our home to help, that was just really special. The time that we got to still remember, like, okay, this is like, we so love you. Like, do you know what I mean? So yeah,
I love that they were able to surprise you with it. Like, I'm thinking like, yeah, we do that, right? Like, I'm checking myself, but I don't think I have it in me to surprise them.
Well, that's your personality. You're incapable of executing surprises.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a great idea and I love it. But I'm like, I don't think I could actually plan something and not spill the beans.
No, we'd be sitting there one night. You would look at our kids and be like,
"Guess what we're gonna do?
Guess what we're doing this weekend? We're going to Kings Island." Yeah, you would ruin it.
Gosh, and that's where Leah learned it from. Sitting on the counter, has her lips so sealed tight together. Whitney's in the back room holding the dog that they just got, and she's like, "Okay, Leo, wait, this is a secret. Don't tell the big kids." She goes, "We got a dog."
Best memory ever.
We got a dog. That's so funny, guys. That's where she learned it from.
That was the longest bathroom trip of one of our children in the history of the world.
Literally.
Okay. What else? What other questions should we ask? What else? Anything you can share with either biological or adoptive siblings to foster kiddos, like what you went through growing up, or anything you would share with parents like Whitney and I or other parents that could be listening to foster kiddos. In your wisdom, in your experiences, what would you share? If you could share anything at all, what would it be?
Okay, so I understand, and I come from a sense of understanding and knowledge that you can't control the people that are around you, right? But if you could, well, like you guys just said, you have a bubble, you have a circle of other foster parents, right? But I guess it would be nice if the biological siblings could have other biological siblings to talk to and hang out with, right?
Yeah.
And while I don't have a solution on how that happens or how that gets started, because it's something that it's just hard to find, like it's just not something that comes up, or that you find very often, I guess. But like, if you could find a way to connect your kids with other kids, it's like just as important as connecting your adopted child with other adopted children. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. That is such a good point.
Did your brothers struggle with it at times like you did?
You know, I don't really know.
Okay. That's fair. It's not really a fair question to ask you. Yeah, I wondered if they had ever mentioned it or anything. Okay.
And I think it's also different. Like, I was the oldest. Right. I'm a girl. I'm bossy. And they are the younger two. They're boys. They always had each other. Like, they were inseparable, and they're just like, they don't care, right? Like, it's just not in a bad way. They don't care, and I care. So
boys just, they're just, that's a boy thing.
Yeah, very different.
That's fair. Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to the nanny.
I had a question.
Oh, well, if you think of it, we can plug it back into this part.
Darn it.
We can plug it back in if you think of it. We can pause and I can splice it back in. All right, to the nanny portion.
Best nanny ever.
Best nanny ever. So what possessed you to actually say yes to nannying our incredible, like our group?
It surely wasn't to pay.
I gotta tell the story because this is going to be a really good one to have on here. So
can't wait.
It really did just work out. Like, I had just quit a job. I had gone it was like 2 months of not having a job, which that's a pattern in my life now that I see.
You're still young.
So I went 2 months, I didn't have a job. I was planning on moving back into my parents' house. So like that was the thing. I just moved back in there. And I was, how old was I? 20? 19, about to turn 20. Yeah, because you gave me a 20th birthday cake. So yeah, I was about to turn 20. And I was praying and I was like, God, I want someone to love. Please send me someone to love. Well, I was talking about a grown man. And so
you were not specific.
Yeah, God.
Well, Quincy was kind of old. Quincy was old.
You know, a human grown man. But,
yeah,
it's fair.
You know, I was like, God, send me my husband, and you know, but you're right, I wasn't specific. I was like, okay, like I want someone to love. I want someone to love. Please, just I want someone to love. And then Whitney were swimming in the pool. I don't remember what holiday it was. Probably
Memorial Day.
Memorial Day. Yeah.
Remember your family was over. Yeah.
Yep. We're swimming and she's like, so, hey. And then we just started talking about it. And then that's when we were talking about, okay, so that's when you were talking about Braden. You were telling me about him. And so that worked out perfect. So, and then I fell in love with him.
Oh, so if I was telling you about, so that must have been Memorial Day.
Yeah.
If I was telling you about Braden, because I was visiting him in the NICU at that point.
He had just been born.
Because that summer, that's when I didn't have a job yet. So I came to your house for a couple hours, a few times a week. And then you start talking about Braden. And then he came, like tiny little boy. I got to see him a little bit, although he spent most of his time with you.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep. And then
because I was working from home.
Yes.
So I just kept him with me.
Yes. And then I'd get him every once in a while, and I fell in love with him right away. Me and him are literally best buds. So
yes, it's Miss Quawa.
I know. So we it just worked out. I wanted someone to love, and I got Brayden, and me and Brayden got to hang out for our own multiple hours in the morning. Leah would get off the bus at school. She'd eat, go take her nap. I'd get him for the rest of the afternoon. So it was me and Brayden for as long as he'd let me hold him, which was a long time.
I remember at one part we were like, you have to lay him down for a nap because he's not sleeping for us that night.
I remember that. Yeah, the cribs was that. I held him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that boy definitely will not be one of those kids that was like, oh, he was never held when he was a baby. No, that boy was held plenty as a baby.
He knows attachment. Yeah.
Yes, he does. Yeah, and then we got another kid and a puppy, and then you quit because we threw too much on you, which I don't blame you.
Quit that, because that's everyone listening. Don't even think of me that way, because that's not the whole story.
No, I mean, kudos to Clara, because you stuck with it. What, for 2 extra kids? No, there was a third, and a new dog.
Guys.
Mm-hmm. The 5th grader.
Yep.
That was a season.
Yeah. No, thinking through it, just what you just described, what you started with, and then what we put you through, I'm like, ugh.
You signed up for our kids, Benny and Lainey and Leah, and a sweet little baby. And you got a whole lot more than you bargained for. We transitioned to 5, and then we had to disrupt that placement. And then shortly after that was when baby girl came in February, right? I think that was that February. And then Maggie.
Because you came home from your trip.
From Jamaica, yeah. And then Maggie came, and you're
just
like,
a dog.
Okay.
That's a dog. That's a dog.
But no, I'll never forget that phone call for baby girl. And Clara, you left our house that day and went and bought stuff for her right away. You were like, I'll stay as long as you need me. Go get what you need. And then you and your mom grabbed stuff from the foster care closet. You were just all in.
That was a special night too, because Lainey and Leah got to come with me because I took your van.
Yes.
So it was a little girls' date to go get the clothes and the bottles and stuff, and we came back, and then there she was.
Yeah. That was always so fun because those calls, it wasn't just me texting Jason to make sure I should say yes. I was texting you and Jason on the same thread, you guys good with this? Because I knew full well it would absolutely impact you.
I remember one time I responded something like, isn't that what double strollers are for, or something like that?
Yeah, I remember that. What is your favorite memory from Nanny and for us in the 2.5 years?
Or funniest story? Does that be a favorite memory?
The funniest story? Well, I have a lot of those. One of my favorite memories, there's a lot of them put together, but Brayden and I started going, when he got a little bit older, we would go to the parks and to story times and go places and do things. And when I got to take him and watch. Okay, so Brayden came when he was days old, and then I was with him until almost until he turned 3. So Brayden was my baby, and then I watched that kid grow up. So going from holding him, watching him be in PT, to literally watching him run on the playground and go down the slide. I don't have a favorite per se, but just watching that boy.
That development.
Literally grow up.
Yeah. You can say it. You have a favorite. We know you have a favorite. Okay. It's okay.
Well, you haven't he's the only baby you were with ever from
you guys have a really special you guys have a really special bond. It's okay to say that. Yeah.
We do.
And I remember you saying at certain points how amazing it was to watch his development, because you'd in your experience you don't know what season, what developmental stage you're jumping into with kids or your parents are jumping into, but seeing a baby from birth on, and let's be real, he's a miracle baby. He shouldn't be here. So it's amazing that you got to see all of that. Yeah.
You need to come over and see him again. Like
I
know you
know.
haven't been over. Like it's great. It's impressive.
His
how much
language is amazing. Yeah.
Really? See,
Yeah.
the language was a big one too, watching him learn to talk. Or like, oh, this is my favorite. When I started introducing foods to him. I loved that because I would take pictures of avocado everywhere, and then he sat in like this, I don't even know what to call it, a bumbo thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
And then when he learned how he could scoot that thing back, it had to be time for the high chair, but
That little stinker. Yeah.
picking out his clothes, that was so fun.
Oh, you love dressing them all up.
Dressing the children. Yeah.
Little baby dolls.
Yeah, they're little baby
Literally.
dolls.
Real life ones.
So did you ever have the realization when you were helping us, Nanny, that you were helping another foster family live out that calling like you did when you were little, that you were helping another family do it? Did you ever have that realization?
I kind of thought about it. Yeah. Towards the very end when I was, okay, so for the your last placement that you got, it's funny because I was babysitting for someone that I met through you guys. And then I got a text and Whitney said, "Don't hate me." And I said, my exact words were, "What day is she coming?" Because I literally already knew. I literally already knew. And so like towards the end, and it was like when I was kind of mentally preparing, okay, like I'm gonna tell them I think I'm gonna part my ways. And then I started to like look back at every single thing, like all the things. So I was like, wow. Like, and then I thought about everything in 2.5 years. That was a wild 2.5 years, but it was a good time. Like,
Yes.
yeah, so I think more about it now than I did when I was
Sure.
But
I mean, it was a huge impact. You truly allowed us to say yes to
A lot.
children that needed home, to children that ended up, being our forever family, right? Like, yeah. And you got to be a part of that for Braden.
Yeah.
And I love that we're recording this. This is his adoption anniversary.
I saw that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I saw that.
On the same day that we're recording this. So that's awesome.
And every single day, this is a good memory too. On my 1 year of being your guys' nanny, it was me and Braden, and I took him to Silver in the City, and I got a ring, and the ring has leaves on it because, like, so cute, grooming or whatnot. And I wear that ring with me every single day. It's not on right now. So I take it off in the car because sometimes it's over. Sure. But so when I go to my job now, it's like those children are with me on my little fingers. So I love that.
I love that.
And being our nanny, what was the craziest thing you saw happen in our family where you were just like, oh my gosh, this family is insane?
Probably when you got that dog. No, I'm just kidding. No.
Poor Maggie.
Mags, it's okay. Gosh.
I know it's so hard to think on the spot.
Pull it back.
I was trying to think of stuff. I'm not sure we've done you justice for everything you've done for us. So that's why I'm trying to think of stuff.
When you added in 2 extra children on your own volition.
That was a good summer, though. We had a fun time. Oh, Oliver Outdings, I can talk about that.
You did so many fun things with them. Oh, my word.
You did a lot of fun stuff with the kids.
I don't know how you did it. So this summer we made like popsicle sticks with all the different playgrounds, and like we color coded them based on the distance from our home. Guess how many we went to?
2.
Maybe. Hank broke down on the way to one of them.
Oh, man.
And I don't know. I know. But I'll tell you what, between therapies and nap time and people visiting, like caseworkers, there wasn't time. So kudos to you for making it work. The in and out of people and the therapies, that was a lot. It had a bonus though, like when the majority of the kids did go to school during the day and it was just me, and then at whatever time period, either one or a few littles home. So, but yeah, I'm really loving that now that we're back in school. I think 3 weeks. I'm really loving that time.
Yeah.
Of course you
The
are.
school hours.
Yeah, of course you're loving the school hours. You and
Our
Little
house
Miss.
is never so calm. It's so great.
You and Little Miss live in the dream.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But don't you worry, 4 p.m. rolls around and my eye starts twitching because I'm so overstimulated.
No, I saw you put on Facebook, if you're understimulated, come to our house at 4 p.m. And I was like, yeah, that's very, very
accurate.
valid. So true.
Yeah.
Not an exaggeration at all. Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and wrap this up. Clara, I will say Clara is still our favorite non-sibling daughter, even though she moved on and is no longer our nanny. She's still one of our favorite humans in the entire universe, and she's still a part of our family.
I mean, basically a sister, friend. I don't even know about a daughter.
No, she's a niece. We can have way more fun with her than
she's an adult, right?
And we're not
I can tell her
responsible
about
for her
the inappropriate things our 10-year-old son has started saying.
Oh, have you told her yet?
No.
Okay, we'll tell her when we're done.
Yeah.
You're gonna die, Clara.
You'll be shocked, for real.
Just so everybody knows, I want to give kudos to Clara. When she decided she was ready to move on, she handled it extremely well. She gave us a 3-month notice, I think. Gave us plenty of runway to figure out what we wanted to do next. So just if anybody listening to this, you decide, move on, handled it great. She'll, like I said, still one of our favorite people.
Her advice for moving on.
Advice for moving on?
Tips for people to do it with grace, like Jason said. I know it was a struggle for you.
It took a lot of thought. If I think about the hardest choices I've ever made in my entire life, it was one of the hardest decisions. I like to write, so I wrote out a letter, and it was right before Christmas. And so the crazy thing is I was like, I folded it and put it in an envelope and then put it on the fridge. And I was like, right before I walked out, probably shaking. I was from the kitchen like I said, Whitney, or some buy whatnot. I was like, oh, there's a letter for you on the fridge. And then I ran out that door.
Yeah.
And
I don't know if you know this part. I got home and Whitney goes, hey, Clara left us a letter on the fridge. This is probably a resignation letter. She goes, oh, no. I'm like, oh, yeah. She ever left us a letter before? She's like, well, no. I'm like, well, yeah.
Yeah,
so
true to our personalities. I'm like, oh, it's probably a Christmas letter. Jason's like, no, she's leaving. Yeah.
But yeah, I think it was pretty graceful. And
it was very graceful.
Yeah, it was sweet. It was funny at the end. It got way too sentimental, and we can't have any of that. So we had to make a joke with it.
You did a great job with that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and I know we were appreciative that you shared, you had started to think about it when Whitney was going through treatments and all that stuff. So we appreciated you sticking around a little bit longer.
No, the summer before she was thinking about it, but then I went and got cancer, so she hung around for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I didn't want to leave. I wanted to make sure. It seemed that things were on the up and coming. So I wanted to wait until then. So
we appreciate that. Yeah. We appreciate that. I can't imagine.
I know during my 20 days of radiation, Jason really appreciated that.
I really appreciate you.
You talk about the craziest things, and that was probably it. Being there for just that time kind of blurred all together, but
yes it did.
Yeah.
Well, you put in a lot of extra hours because Jason worked, and the kids were on fall break.
Yes.
Yeah. And we had an extra child. We took in that extra placement a week before I went in for treatment. Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, you were a gamer.
So yeah. Did your eyes start twitching? Because mine's twitching now thinking about what you went through.
They might have.
Oh.
Switched clothes. No, just kidding.
So, Claire, share with everybody what you're doing now.
Okay. So I left the Smalls and I was like, no, I'm not working with kids. So I looked for any job. I applied for so many. And
God's like, no, girl, I gifted you.
Yeah, right. And so, and it was, I applied for jobs and had interviews over a series of 10 to 12 weeks. And ironic enough, I was at the smallest house and babysitting, and one of Braden's therapists came to the house, and she was having a conversation with me about what I was doing, and I was like, I'm not doing anything yet. And she the conversation we had pushed me in the direction of looking into and applying RBT jobs, which is a registered behavior therapist or registered behavior technician, whatever you choose to call it. But so I applied and got an interview and got a job offer. And it's just crazy because I had prayed for like 10 weeks. Whatever job that you want me to have, God, you need to make it so clear because I don't know how to make choices. You have to just make them for me. You have to show me. You have to show me. You have to show me. And if it's the one job offer you get for 12 weeks later, that's pretty clear. So I took it. But it just kind of goes to show you that, like, God does everything how he wants to do it, and he'll work it out. Because I met you guys because Mom and Dad were foster parents. I fell in love with Braden because you fostered him. Like, monumental years in my life. Mm-hmm. I think about things that happened, people I was friends with, experiences that were shaped by me being your nanny. Like, so much in those 2.5 years because you're foster parents. And then you adopt this kid. I come to babysit. He has a therapist, and she leads me in the direction of what I'm doing now. So sometimes when you take a second to think, it all like wraps together.
It's crazy, isn't it?
See that scaffolding that God is building for your next step, right? And, you kind of alluded to it, but we all grew as humans, as people, as parents, as providers, like together. Like that 2.5 years, a whole lot of life happened. And I mean, you made an impact on me and helped me be a better person. You know what I mean? So there was a lot of really good. We
started working out and doing all of our stuff. We did good.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys did good.
Well, you did good too, Jason.
Until we didn't.
Yeah, you know. That's okay. We're doing good now. Just not together, but
Yeah.
All right, Miss Clara. Well, thanks for taking the time to talk to us.
Yeah, you're very welcome. It was fun. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the Dream Small podcast. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, please tap the follow button and leave us a review. It helps other people find my mom and dad's show. If you're on Spotify, please give my parents a follow and a 5-star rating. And wherever you listen, don't forget to share the show with a friend who needs a little encouragement today. You can also follow us on social media to stay in the loop. Instagram at Dream Small Podcast, Facebook Dream Small Podcast, and Twitter X at Dream Small Show. Or email us anytime at dreamsmallpodcast@gmail.com. We love hearing from you. And remember, just dream small. See you next time.